So there is a educated rumor out there coming from game developers that Sony is currently working on a PlayStation 4.5 that can run games at 4K resolutions. Now, talking about this, the current PlayStation 4 has trouble running games at 1080p at 60 frames per second. So this is going to be a big leap if this is a real thing. I know there are some games out there that can run 1080p and 60 frames per second. Fantastic, there are some, but you know, some games are running at 900p. I heard that Star Wars Battlefront runs at like 720p and stuff like that. So if this is a real thing that's going on, if Sony is currently like sort of in the works planning and developing a PlayStation 4.5 with maybe a GTX 980 or something, that is going to be such a bad idea. If they're planning new stats in a PlayStation 4.5, why not just release a PlayStation 5 that might cost, you know, a lot of money? Now, the reason that the PlayStation 4 is... When the PlayStation 4 was released, it was behind the curve of technology. It was behind the current tech of hardware. It was way behind. And now, like, what is it, 3 years later? It is way behind. It is way behind. There are games on PC that are running at 4K, and these consoles can't even do 1080p well. There's a clear reason of, like, the reason the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have the hardware that they have in them today. It is because of the price. They couldn't put like a GTX Titan in them and have them under $500. So it'd have to cost way above $1,000 to do that. And even like a 980, they would still have to cost like $700 to $800, and people wouldn't buy them as willingly. The consoles now, they're like $300. Anyway, I don't even know what the prices are now, but when they were first out, they were $500, and now I think they're like $299, $300 or something. I don't even know. But if they had like 980s or Titans in them, they would still be like $1,000. People aren't going to want to buy a $1,000 console if the PlayStation 4 is like $300. That is why consoles are so good in some cases. Now, if they do make a PlayStation 4.5, it is also going to ruin the fact that developers will need to develop a game for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4.5, which means that people, it's just going to open up a whole new door of consoles. The reason why consoles are so good is because here's what someone else said, which is a very, very true point. People who own a console, if they want to go out and buy a game, they see the PlayStation 4 logo on the box, they'll pick up that game, they'll go, I want to play it, this game looks fun, I want to play this, and they'll have no problem. They buy it, they put it in, boom, they're playing it. It's simple, they know it's going to work. If it has a PlayStation logo on the top of the box of the game, they know it's going to run it. Same with the Xbox, they see the Xbox logo, they put it in their Xbox, boom, it's going to run it. But a PC is a little bit different. You need to sort of look at the stats, you need to look in the settings, you need to do all that. You need to make sure your computer can actually handle the game. And I've bought games in the past where I thought, oh, I'm going to play this game looks fun. I bought it for PC. It was a laggy piece of shit because my computer couldn't handle it. That is mainly why I love consoles so much. That is why consoles sell so well, because they're easy. They're just simple. It's a plug and play feature. So if Sony does do this PlayStation 4.5, it's the same thing with the Xbox upgrades that they were talking about. It is going to be such a bad idea. Developers are going to need to make sort of two versions of the games. Someone with a PlayStation 4 is going to have to buy a separate version to someone with the PlayStation 4.5. They're going to have to buy a different game. Or they're just going to make one, developers would probably just make one game and have settings, and then people would need to go in the settings, and the average console gamer does not want to do that. That's the main reason why I got Mad Max, Alien Isolation, Just Cause 3, and a bunch of games on the console, is because I'm not sure how well my computer's going to handle it, but they're for PS4, and I know the PS4 is going to handle it. If I pick up that box, put the disc in, I know it's going to run it, because it's a console. The thing with consoles is you got to keep them the same. If you want to make a new one, release the next console. Sony, if you want to make a PlayStation 4.5, don't. Just make a PlayStation 5. Maybe in 2017, 2018, release your next console if you're worried about the tech not being up to scratch, which we all know that. We all know that the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, everyone knows that they're way behind, but we know why you did it. You did it because you wanted to make it affordable. You wanted to get a PlayStation 4 in people's homes at an affordable price, and you did that perfectly. The PlayStation 4 is flying off shelves. They're selling like there's no tomorrow. You're doing a great job with the PlayStation 4, Sony. Please, just do not wreck it. Do not release a PlayStation 4.5. It would be a terrible idea. The amount of confusion that's going to happen with buying games, the amount of shit that you're going to unload in the gaming industry with that is going to be such a bad idea. I don't even know why you're even considering this as an option. Look, Sony, I have a PlayStation 4. I love it. I love playing games on it. I love the exclusives. I love putting in a game and knowing it can run. That is why I got some of the AAA titles for it. So yeah, don't wreck this, Sony. Don't wreck it and make a new PlayStation 4. It'd be such a bad idea. You've confused the market. Just don't do it.